This is the third video on the poem The Brook, and today this is the third and the last video on this poem. Today we will start from line number 25. I wind about and in and out. The brook says I wind about and in and out. It says again, when it moves through the curly paths along the countryside, through the countryside, it winds about. Sometimes, it creates the whirlpools. It's water, it's water, circles around. And that's what to wind about means, to move in a curved way. Or we may say it is zigzagging across the landscape. Then it says, with here a blossom sailing, and it points out some flower that's actually drifting along the water of the brook, and it's very usual. It's a flower blossom. It's a kind of flower that is floating, that is sailing, that's traveling along the brook with the water of the brook. And here and there a lusty trout. In me I can see a lusty trout. Lusty means healthy and strong. Trout is a freshwater fish, and in me I can see a lusty trout, strong and healthy trouts. And here and there a grayling. Grayling is again a kind of trout, and it's also running in the water of the brook. And here and there a foamy flake upon me as I travel, and on my surface travel foamy flakes. Foam, it's a mass of bubbles like the shaving foam, and foamy flake means a small piece of foam, and that has actually parted from the large part of a foam, and it travels over my surface with many a silvery water break above the golden gravel. Golden gravel here means the pebbles under the surface of the brook, and pebbles, small stones, the sand, and it says golden. But along the time, the water of the brook has created a shiny surface over the gravel present on its bottom, and it says with a many silvery water break, and the layer of the brook and the water of the brook as it travels breaks. It bounces off the golden gravel, and it says a silvery water break. When the water bounces off something, it shines. That's what it says, silvery water break. Then it says, and draw them all along, and I draw them. It says, the vigorous brook pulls the pebbles, flower petals, and fish along with it. It pulls the gravel. It pushes the gravel forward along with it, and flow to join the brimming river. And I continue my flow to join the river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. While the humankind's time on earth is short, but the brook will continue to live. Then it goes on and says, I steal by lawns and grassy plots. I steal by, this means I move quickly by the lawns, because lawns and grassy plots, this means flat surfaces, and water moves smoothly and quickly over the flat surfaces. I slide by hazel covers. Hazel is a plant. Hazel is a small tree, and that produces hazelnuts. And I slide by hazel covers. Hazel covers means areas that are densely covered by the hazel trees, and I slide by, and I also move over these areas quickly and quietly. I move the sweet forget-me-nots that grow for happy lovers. And here the word forget-me-nots. Forget-me-not is a kind of flower, and that's found on the banks of the river or near the wet areas. I move the sweet forget-me-nots as I flow. I push gently, with my, I push gently these sweet forget-me-nots, these flowers, these beautiful flowers. I push them gently as I flow that grow for happy lovers. And the Brook says that these flowers grow for the people, grow for those people who are in love. I slip, I slide, I gloom, I glance. This means I move quickly, I move quietly, I gloom. Sometimes I am dark, and sometimes I shine. Among my skimming shallows. Among my skimming shallows. This means skimming shallows. It's a kind of bird. And Brooke says they skim my surface because they are these shallows. They find they skim the surface. They move quickly, and they scratch the surface of the surface of the brook, and to take a quick glance for food. Actually, they catch fishes extra in the water, and that's what it's saying. Among my skimming shallows, those shallows that fly over me quickly and quietly, and that skim my surface, I make the netted sunbeam dance against my sandy shallows. Netted sunbeam. It says I make the netted sunbeam dance. Sunbeam is the beam of it's a beam of it's a beam of rays from the sun. It says netted. When the surface of this brook is somewhere covered with the leaves of fern, and somewhere covered with the leaves of, and somewhere it's covered by the leaves of hazel trees. And when the sunlight falls through these leaves, it creates a kind of pattern. And when sunlight falls on the surface, on the actual surface of the brook, it creates a pattern. And that's what means netted sunbeam dance. And when it moves, it when it moves, and when the pattern when the sun, what's this